Alright guys, welcome back for another edition of Nighttime. Joining us, as usual, Garry.
How are we?
Yeah, some better than others, eh?
Shut up.
Yes, we'll get into that in a minute. And ever beautiful crazy lady, how are you?
Yeah, same as Garry.
Corey.
Losers.
I'm feeling really good.
That's a first.
I know.
Yeah.
What, Mr. Good?
Well, we beat the Dolphins.
No, they did pretty well, but also our guest panelist tonight, Adam from the Ants. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Albert Glass and Ants, the team the club we support and get behind. So, yeah, welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you very much for having me. Much appreciated.
We'll have a chat about them later, but let's get into some NRL news first. But hang on, first of all, what was the score on the weekend, Gary?
We'll get to that later.
All right.
Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, well, NRL.
Warriors won.
Yeah.
I noticed you didn't take them.
I took the Knights, but
And we got robbed. But I'll let you have the 2 points.
Time for the NRL news.
The Tigers have officially granted Stefano Utoikamanu permission to negotiate with rival clubs. Stefano has given us no indication that he wants to leave, but he does want to have a look around, said Tigers CEO Shane Richardson. What's the latest on that?
So Canberra are chasing him, Georgia chasing him, now Melbourne have put their hat in the ring.
Melbourne will put their hat in the ring. I think you'll find that Nelson Solomana will probably be on the way out. It's just the news I'm getting that things are not 100% there. So saying that, Nelson would be a good pickup for Penrith.
Nah.
Better pick up for Para.
He's not the same as he used to be.
No, I'm sure.
But, okay, was Tavita Pangai Jr. the same until he went to Penrith? No, he wasn't. He was even better when he went to Penrith. Change the club.
Drugs did.
Anyway.
Stefano was a Parramatta junior too.
Wasn't?
I don't see great player, but I just don't see the price tag hype on him as yet. To be honest, he's not a Fisher Harris. Even Leo Thompson, you know. I knew I'd throw that in there, but you know what I mean. Anyway, moving on.
The Warriors have ruled out Sean Johnson for at least 4 weeks. He has re-injured his Achilles tendon. Sean rehabbed it and felt amazing, but he hasn't come back the way he wanted, said Andrew Webster. The Warriors insist Sean won't be forced into retirement, and he still has the option to re-sign for 2025. We'll rely on Sean to come to us and give us that answer, said their CEO, Cameron George.
I'm Andrew Webster. I'm running with, what's his name? The half they got now?
Tavita
Harris, yeah. To be honest, much better football. Could be because of the injury, so let him have some time off, come back closer to the finals. You got a fresh Sean Johnson.
I like Sean Johnson, the way he plays and that.
Oh, yeah, great player. But there's something just not right there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's probably that niggling injury. Let him rest. It's like Nathan Cleary. You know, like Kylie was, you know, we've lost him for so long. But you think about it, they're coming closer to the finals. You get a fresh Nathan Cleary at finals time. God help us.
You know what, though? I think we're doing really well with Luai.
That's right. But then you inject another bit of Nathan Cleary at finals time. It's a scary thought, really.
If they keep losing, they won't be up there. Sorry, Kylie.
Let's not go there. It's reported Emre Gula has requested a release from the Raiders at the end of the season on compassionate grounds. The Tigers are also monitoring this situation.
Interesting. I haven't heard any news where, you know, he could end up, so could be anywhere.
Dragons.
Dragons?
It's one I've heard today.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That's not a bad sign. And if we can,
Might as well throw the Roosters in there too, because they're trying to sign everyone else.
yeah, I mean, we've got a bit of money to spend.
Who are you getting rid of?
Lomax,
Where's he going?
Parramatta. Actually, hang on a minute. All depends on the coaching situation. There's
Well-
still be a clause there.
Nah, he'll be,
He has got his finger on Penrith as well.
we'll get him.
Interesting. Watch his space.
Everyone can have an opinion, but I've got pretty tough skin. That comes from my upbringing. I had to grow up around a lot of things and I've just grown thick skin. I've learned that if you come in and prove people wrong, then that's where it goes wrong for you. I learned that from a young age. If you try to prove people wrong or prove them right, it just never works out for you. That's Payne Haas responding to critics on his Origin performances.
I like Payne Haas.
Yep.
Local boy too. Woodbury Warrior. So,
He'd have to be my favourite Bronco.
it's hard to go past Jordan Ricky for me, but yeah, he's up there. Like, for what that bloke has gone through in the last couple of years too, and you don't hear a lot of him, turn his nose out. Well, he just seems to get his work done.
Yep.
And I think, to be honest, I think he'd be an asset in any team, really. Like,
I want to see him come off the back fence in Origin 3. Wind up.
You like a lot of people coming off the back fence, don't you?
Moving on.
The officer of the Director of Public Prosecutions has confirmed Jared Hayne will not face a fourth trial.
He also said, I don't think an NRL comeback will be on him a bit past me prime. You think?
What is he, like 38 or something?
Imagine the backlash he'd get.
Oh, what is there, Grandpa's League or something?
I'm pretty sure he said he looks like a front rower.
The photo I seen of him is bigger than Dean. Sorry, Dean.
It's a bit harsh. Watching my shape. Rounds
Round
of
of
shape.
shape, yeah.
Tyrone Peachey has officially announced his retirement from the NRL at the end of the season. I've been battling through some things and just wanted to announce that I'm retiring from the NRL, he said.
Things haven't been right for Peach since he come back to Penrith, I think. I don't think he's been 100% fit.
Or his head's not in it.
Or there's maybe some mental health issues. So, like he said, he's been battling some things. So, good on him. Has been a good player. Served some good years at Penrith, was really good, and then going to Titans, was it? And then back to Tigers.
Titans.
So,
Titans,
yeah.
Yep.
It was a really good player back in his day at Penrith too. So, good on him. Hold his head high and,
Hope everything goes good for him.
yeah, 100%.
Members of the Perth NRL expansion bid have reportedly met with Brad Arthur. If they can guarantee he will be their inaugural coach, it could strengthen their case to the Australian Rugby League Commission.
Yeah. I honestly think he shouldn't have been sacked, to be honest. I thought he got the rough end of the stick. Like,
They should have started a bit higher in the
well, and also,
sacking 'em.
if you're going to sack him, like, we all know the Eels are running last.
No, they're not.
Second last.
Or second last, sorry. Well,
Keep up with the times, boy.
So they got off the ladder by losing this week.
Yeah,
Well, they got down the ladder by winning the other way. Anyway, my point is, let him finish out the season.
Yeah.
Trent Barrett's only going to be there for the rest of the season. He wasn't going to do anything. Let him finish it out. Move on. I just thought it was done pretty harshly.
Yep.
I think there was talks of him, Brad Arthur, going to PNG when they...
There was talks of that too. Well, the whole Arthur clan was in Newcastle on the weekend.
Yep.
And we walked past them all. I didn't even know it was him. Brad Arthur, because he had his hoodie on and trying to stay inconspicuous.
Well, you're saying he's got a bald head.
Well, he does.
That's why you couldn't recognise him.
No, he had a hoodie on.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I watched a little snippet when they were giving his son the jersey, like first game jersey. Brad didn't want to turn up. His wife had to do all the stuff for him.
Oh,
He
no.
wasn't ready to show that Parramatta training.
Well, that's pretty sad that he, like, I can understand, but that's been taken away from him
Yeah.
now. And, like, he could have coached his son. Like, that. I look at Nathan Cleary and Ivan.
Yep.
Is there anything better in the game than coaching your son? Especially at NRL level, like,
Depends how talented your son is.
regardless. If you're coaching your son in that level, like, you could win premierships, yeah, but that in itself would just be, you could not take that away.
Icing on the cake.
And, I think that's why they sort of clicked so well at Penrith too because they got that connection. But feel sorry for Arthur. Anyway,
I got to kick. I coach me 9-year-old son. I got to kick out of coaching him.
oh, yeah, there you go.
Like, and should be like, and that's good now. But yeah, just imagine what Cleary'd be like.
100%. So
And my dad coached me when we were playing footy, schoolboys.
And Kyle Flanagan's playing well under his old man. When he was when they coached when he was at Cronulla. Kyle got the best out of him there.
that's it. So
There was no favouritism when I was playing, I'll tell you. Boot. Keep running.
Alex McKinnon believes Kevin Walters will be under pressure to keep his job if the Broncos miss the finals this year. I would love to see Billy Slater coach the Broncos, he said.
not going to happen.
No.
Never happen.
No.
Billy Slater's got Origin locked down, and the money that he gets off Channel 9 is too much commitments. That'll never happen. Hence why Andrew Johns will never coach. Channel 9 pay him way too much money. And they travel Australia, really.
Why be tied down?
Well, they don't want the pressure of week
What
in,
did
week
we-
out, NRL football, play 3 games.
And you have a look at Brad Arthur.
Yeah.
You hear that one way, you could be going the next. At least with Channel 9, and, Origin, there's more of a chance of staying.
Exactly.
South are reportedly in talks with Isaiah Tass and hopeful he will extend his contract past this season with the club. Both Gordon Tallis and Braithen Astor believe the Rabbitohs will play finals footy this season. The Rabbitohs would need to win roughly the next 8 of their next 10 games.
Big ask.
Would you say
Especially
big
when
ass?
Big ass,
As that's
yeah.
Latrell.
Yeah.
When they play us next week. Especially when they play us next week.
Yeah, there's 2 points.
Yeah.
To us.
That's a huge call. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but let's look at their form this year. Latrell's played great in Origin, but
I think they've won their last 4 games, haven't they?
Yeah, ever since Wayne Bennett decided to take over.
Yeah.
well, we all know Barrett's pulling the strings, or Bennett's pulling the strings already. But I mean, it could happen. But if I'm a betting man, I'm not putting it on it. That's for sure.
John Singleton admits he will do whatever it takes to see the Newtown Jets re-enter the NRL. He has reportedly sent Peter V'landys a letter outlining his financial commitment to the club.
When you got a bloke like that backing you, I suppose it's possible. Didn't he buy someone a racehorse the other day too?
Aaron Molan.
Yeah, right. We'll just leave that there.
We'll discuss that off air.
So if we have 20 teams, 1 in Perth, standalone.
There has to be a team.
Newtown affiliate with the Bears.
No, well, the Bears will be a part of Western Australia.
But how you've always said that you want Western Australia to
Well, I would prefer that. Look, the Western Reds, back in the day, look,
Yeah.
they were great.
Yeah.
We need that back, I feel. And then if they want to expand the Sydney teams, bring North Sydney back. North Sydney and the Jets combined. North Sydney Jets. That'll work. But I'd feel that the next team has to be in Western Australia. It's National Rugby League. Well, it's not. Has to be back in Western Australia. And you've got all these fans over there screaming for a team
Yeah.
and claiming that if it doesn't happen soon, they're going to go to AFL. Well, it's time to start standing up and taking notice of the fans. Isn't it a fans game?
100%.
We've only got 2 AFL teams over there, so
And it's a perfectly good stadium at Optus Stadium.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tap in there.
RLPA CEO Clint Newton is calling for the NRL to reduce the length of the regular season. I don't think the game and the players can sustain the current model for much longer, he said.
Okay. I'm all for it. But we reduce their salary too. Can't have it one way, not the other.
Yeah.
I mean, give me $1 million a year. I'll get skinny again and I'll run around the field. I'll train every day. $1 million. Do you think some of the players are on that? Hey?
They only play half a year.
Yeah, and we go to school, I was going to say, well, some of us do. We go to work, manual labour, or, whatever it is, or office work, whatever. You're putting in a big each week hours, and we're nowhere near that kind of money. So
Nowhere near it.
I think the season's not too long personally. If they say player burnout, that's fine. But you can't have these wages going up, like salaries,
Yeah.
and reduce the games.
Mal Meninga admits the Kangaroos are considering remaining loyal with James Tedesco. Tedesco was the incumbent and he hasn't let his team, state or country down before, Mal said.
I'm not even going to answer that one. You know my view on that.
You know mine.
Well, Tedesco has been great for Australia and New South Wales, 100%. But it's time to move on. Dylan Edwards is the future going forward, and if he's the Origin fullback, it should be between him and Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh, then. I'll volunteer him.
No, I don't.
No, Edwards.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm being selfish here.
Well, I'm, obviously my team's Newcastle, but I support Penrith as well. But what that bloke does is second to none. Like, people have asked this question. I even got asked it today. If you had to pick a team, would you pick Edwards over Ponga? And I said, I can't answer that question. Because...
Not in public.
Well, Ponga brings so much to a team, but Dylan Edwards is just... it's just something different about the bloke.
He's the ultimate professional.
And it's his work behind this, look at his run meters, look at this, look at his stats. And they just, he mightn't be as flamboyant, so to speak, as Ponga or a Tedesco or whatever, but, man, he'd be hard to leave out, put it that way.
I like Teddy, but when he plays, he hogs the ball a bit too much. He'll get butts through the line.
It doesn't know how to pass.
Take the blinkers off.
Although he had a good flick the other night.
What, did he drop it?
No.
No.
Try.
Yeah, move on.
The Bulldogs have reportedly met with Chad Townsend regarding a deal from 2025 onwards. However, it's understood their preference is to remain with Drew Hutchinson or Toby Sexton as their halfback moving forward. Isn't he going to
I read today.
the Roosters?
I read today that the Cowboys have said there's not enough money in the cap for you, and the Roosters will be signing there.
Well, yeah, the Roosters have said they want him, but tomorrow, Parramatta will say they want him. Yeah, so it's a guessing game, but I said from the start of the season he'll end up at the Bulldogs, didn't I? And now it's looking like it. So, well, until the Roosters come in, but Roosters want everyone.
Yeah. Roosters it's a replacement for Luke Keary when he retires to cover with Sandon Smith and...
But he's not retiring anymore.
No, he's
going somewhere else.
Going somewhere else, yeah.
I call that a little bit fishy, that whole situation with Luke Keary. Had to retire medically, and now...
Yeah.
Uncle Nick. That's Brandon's... Oh, I don't know.
How long do you reckon Townsend's got left in him?
2 to 3?
Yeah.
He's still playing some good footy. It'd probably be a good one to be at, like the Dogs, and have an understudy trying to teach him to come through. I just don't see why Drew Hutchinson is playing 7. He's not a halfback.
No.
Drew Hutchinson shouldn't even be in first grade.
Well, I won't go that far. But
They're flat.
each their own, but he's more of a lock or a second rower. It's like putting Mitch Barnett at halfback. It just doesn't happen. Well, yeah, and no wonder why they haven't got a good kicking game. But you got Kurt Mann that can perfectly play in there. Anyway.
The Bulldogs have signed Satili Tupanua on a 4-year deal.
Yeah, you can see that one sticking out a mile away. Hey, guys. As soon as Gus said, no. Yep, he's on.
Yep.
Geez, they're recruiting well.
Okay.
By a premiership, you mean?
I want to ask you this question, but...
They did with Stephen Crichton.
Viliama Kickow, Crichton, Burton, old mate from the Roosters there now. Just in them. Salary cap issues?
Yeah, considering the Knights do. What are they paying Ponga $2 million?
We won't go there either.
Selwyn,
Well, I won't go there.
Selwyn Cobbo has declared he is available for the Origin decider. Nobody needs to know what happened before Game 2. I'm all good now and hopefully I get that call, he said.
No one needs to know. If he didn't say that, I wouldn't question what went on. But now he said it, I'm like, so what happened? Was there a little bit of... The way I'm reading into it is because of the way Game 1 happened with him. He was left out from the start. I reckon there might have been a little bit of him and Billy Slater.
Button heads.
Yeah.
Bit of politics in there, you reckon?
I mean, it happens, Bob. So, move on. And like he has said, so, interesting. But
Matt Tomoko is set to have scans on his right shoulder after suffering minor dislocations in the past 2 games.
Yeah, went straight off that one.
Journalist Billy Eder believes Reece Walsh was bullied out of the game last week. It appeared that the knockout blow from Joseph Suaalii in Game 1 had rocked Walsh more than he'd let on, and the lingering effects were present in every part of his game, she said.
I'm sick of hearing that shit, eh? Seriously, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Stop playing rugby league. Stop getting... There's a reason why you have that big house, mate, and the flashy cars, and it's because you're playing a contact sport. And love him or hate him, whatever, he's got a bit of talent. So you're going to be targeted. That's football. Yeah. But he wasn't targeted, but like it's just...
Like I've said, if he didn't slip over, that tackle would be getting played on the...
That's right.
For the next 10 years.
Okay, Game 2. Where did he get bullied? If anything, he was standing behind 2 other players trying to reach over at Spencer Leniu. Yeah, well, that was going to happen. Like, come on. The Queenslanders just want to whinge about something.
It's just mind games.
The NRL want to discuss bringing the Origin kickoff time forward from 2028 onwards. However, it's understood Channel 9 prefer the latest start due to sponsorship and ad purposes.
Won't happen. Only way it will come forward is if it's played on a Saturday and there's earlier like promotions, during the day. It's all about the money and it won't happen. That's my opinion.
What date was it?
2028.
Still a while.
4 years. Or 3 years.
My Alzheimer's had taken over by then, I'd say, so it won't matter to me.
What's your view on standalone weekend Origin?
I don't mind it.
I'd prefer it.
Yeah.
But we need to make, women's the same weekend as well. And we've even spoke about, like, City Country, maybe bring that back.
Bring that back, yeah.
And make 3 games, because let's be honest, we're all footy gurus. Everyone out there loves their footy. If you don't get your footy fix, are you cranky? I bloody am.
You got the Pacific Test in there as well, don't
you? Well, because it's Origin, why couldn't we do something like, England and the Kiwis as well? I love watching the Kiwis play. Even just the entertainment for it. And then bring the women's Kiwi girls in as well. So make a full round of representative, but that's Game 1.
Yeah.
And what do you do for Game 2? Do you do that again? Make a state of origin, so to speak, country of origin with New Zealand up against England for the 3 games? Something to look at. I don't mind it. I didn't like at the start, the end of the season Origin.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in a way, like for clubs like Penrith, not St George.
Supporters,
or Brisbane, have multiple players, so it makes sense to them. They're the clubs that are...
Well, when you get to run the NRL, mate, you can do all these changes.
Oh, let's hope.
Vote for Smitter.
The Panthers expect Nathan Cleary to return from his hamstring injury in round 20. He is steadily going through his rehab, going well. He's running, but he is a fair bit off, hitting top speed and doing everything with the team, said Ivan.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Move on.
Latrell Mitchell, Liam Martin and Valentine Holmes were all charged with Grade 1 offences in Origin. They have all been fined 7% of their match fee.
7%.
What, 30 grand, didn't it?
Yeah, 30 grand, so not a lot. I thought Liam Martin got charged at first for scruffing old mate's head. But no, it was the lifting tackle. I mean, that shouldn't have been... That's where he got sent 10 in the bin for.
Yeah, but Queensland's being... Isn't that the reason Queensland could be wrong, being investigated? Because he landed on his shoulder and they abused the interchange?
Yeah, free interchange rule,
They abused everyone. Nate Miles abused someone in Game 1.
Spencer Leniu. Suaalii, yeah.
$1,500 well spent.
Yeah, but he wouldn't abuse Spencer. Spencer would have won at him.
No, I don't think he would have.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Might add some words back at him.
I love old crazy eyes, mate. He's He brings them excitement. though.
Come into the dressing sheds with me and we'll discuss it in there.
Oh, no, thanks. Not you, Gary.
No, him.
Oh.
Nate Miles and Spencer.
Mm.
Sneak a camera in there.
Jordan Pereira has been forced to medically retire with nerve damage in his neck, which is affecting his strength in his right arm.
Mm.
Jermaine Hopgood requires lower back surgery and has now been ruled out for 12 weeks.
He was walking all right, but on Saturday night, I was expecting to see him a lot worse, but yeah, terrible injury.
Probably needled up.
Mm.
Tristan Saylor admits he is open to leaving the Broncos after his current deal expires. It's something me and my manager will have to look at as it comes up because I want to get quality NRL minutes, he said.
Well, let's be honest, he's not getting a good run there yet. There's some quality people in front of him.
Where would he go and what would he play?
I reckon he'll go to Souths.
You reckon? Titans?
Who's got the most money?
Roosters?
Kieran Foran has reportedly re-signed with the Titans for the 2025 season.
How old is that bloke? Seriously, just keeps on going and
It's a
going.
retirement village up there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like wine, but
Oh,
getting better with age.
yeah.
I hope you mean playing.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Not that way, darling, you know that.
Justin Holbrook has
Damn.
resigned from his position as coach from of the PNG Camels. He's signed under Mal Meninga as an assistant coach for the Australian Kangaroos.
Yeah, well, that'd be a better job. You have to go to P&G.
The PNG Camels are reportedly in talks with Jason Demetriou to sign as their next head coach.
Things must be looking forward for him.
Cleese Haas has reportedly re-signed with the Titans for a further 3 seasons. Wayne Bennett believes the send-off rule needs to change. If I am paying $300 to go to a State of Origin game and taking my family, and it costs well over $1,000, and the game is over in 7 minutes, we have got to be better than that. It is a discussion we need to have.
I've never heard such
Sense.
spot-on sense from a bloke before as that.
Jai Arrow is only expecting to play 1 more game this season before he requires season-ending rotator cuff repair surgery. He says the only thing he would delay the surgery for is a Maroons return.
No chance.
He's not going to get that, so
No.
book the surgery in, bro.
Xavier Coates has a low-grade tear in his hamstring. He's set to miss 6 to 8 weeks.
Gone.
Fletcher Baker suffered a knee ligament injury against the Warriors and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Ivan Cleary is releasing a book called Not Everything Counts But Everything Matters, which is now available for pre-order on Amazon and other retailers.
And you've already lined up for it?
Oh, I searched it.
How many copies you getting?
7.
Yeah, 1 for each day of the week.
Actually, it would be a good read, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it would. It would. And to be honest, I know a lot
Let's make a movie. I don't have time to read.
of... Good idea. Move on there.
Okay. The NRL have charged Kurt Donahue with a grade 2 careless high tackle. He's facing a 3-game suspension with an early guilty plea. And I think as of now, he pled guilty.
It was a decent hit.
It was. The NRL... Billy Slater has confirmed we will consider selecting David Fafita for the Origin decider.
Should have had him in the
Well, they
first
want
one.
to lose. His form has not been... Why would you change the forwards they got, to be honest? Fafita hasn't been playing that good football. I know Origin's a total different game, but... Anyway, must have thrown Joe Arrow in, what do you think?
It was really important that we put the loss to the Titans behind us without walking past it, and they set this week up unbelievably with the way we trained. It was pretty obvious we weren't going to turn up and dish up what we did against the Titans. You could tell the boys were on. Andrew Webster on the Warriors playing better against the Broncos.
They were just dismal that way.
It was proper garbage.
And I don't think you'll see that ever happen, well, this year again from the Warriors.
Warriors, no.
You won't next year, that's for sure.
I don't think you'll see the Titans put 60 on anyone either. Eddie.
Yeah, maybe the Dragons. Or the Eels.
No, they won't put 60 on the Dragons.
What about? Oh, yeah, because we probably don't play him for the rest of the year.
Actually, do play the Titans later in the year.
Oh, hold my beer.
Can we have a little bet on that before we go any further?
No, we'll wait till that game.
No.
This is going to get pre...
What are you on about? You already lost one last week. You want another one?
That's all right.
Who wants to wear a dress?
We'll get on to that
Twice.
soon, don't you worry.
The Panthers admit Nathan and Ivan Cleary would both be attractive targets for a new NRL expansion club and want to rule that chance out completely. They're here until 2027, but we'd like to make them both lifetime Panthers, coach and player, said their CEO.
They want to lock him in until 2032, I heard. Which, yeah, I think they said Nathan will be 32 at the time. Is that correct?
Not sure.
They said, come out today as well, or yesterday I read, is Nathan Cleary as good as Andrew Johns? And I'll have mine, but what do you think?
Better.
Ooh, a big call.
I didn't really take much notice of Andrew Johns because I hated him.
Yeah,
Because he was so good.
Different eras.
Yeah, true.
You had to spoil it, didn't you? It was just
I
one
just
or
had
the
to be
other.
logical.
No, I don't reckon.
They reckon?
Nah.
In time.
He's got two different styles of footy, I think.
There is, but the thing is, he's only 24.
Yeah.
In time, I reckon he'll be as good.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, could be, because like he's still got another 6 to 8 years to go, really. Well, if not more.
So if you look at that, the 2027 thing with that, if the Perth team comes along, like that'd be a big coup if you get them two over there. Like,
I reckon he's, well, if not, well, not saying he's going to be better, but I tell you what, he's going to be close. He will be in a model one.
yeah.
He's got one thing that Andrew hasn't got. He's got more premierships in him.
He's got a bigger chin.
The only thing is... Shut up, midget Moses. The only thing is... Now I've lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot, Gary. Yeah, injuries. He seems to be getting injured a lot more.
Possibly.
Harder game.
Bit like Ponga.
Oh, boy, what?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, true, but it's all right. Mary might fix him.
Maybe. Ivan Cleary admits he would not have left the Tigers to return to Penrith if his son wasn't so talented. I wouldn't have come back to Penrith from West Tigers at the end of 2018 if Nathan wasn't as talented.
If Nathan wasn't at the Panthers, he wouldn't have come back. He'd
No.
come back for Nathan as well.
Yeah.
100% you did. Like
Yeah.
you know. And I'll tell you another thing that got him back there was the hefty pay packet. You can't blame the bloke.
He hated coaching against his son.
You can't blame the bloke. Back to where you started, back to with Nathan and a hefty pay packet. Well,
He
no
was
offence.
pushed out.
Well, yeah, he was pushed out from the Penrith at the start, but why wouldn't you go back? With those three things, it'd be hard to say no. I mean, I don't say the Tigers are offering as good incentive to stay. So, anyway.
Ricky Stewart has slammed the current standard of officiating in the NRL. Those 6 agains, they're just guessing. I'll give one away here, I'll give one away there, he said.
He's got a point. As much as I think Ricky's a big whinger, but he does have a point.
Oh, sometimes.
But if they're within the 10 or something, yeah, I love it. I love the 6 again. I reckon if they do it in the 10 metres from their line, they tackle them and they just get back 6 again. They've got no benefit from it. You know, march them 10 and start the 6. Make it penalise.
What do you reckon? As a footy player?
It's a hard one. It's good, but like sometimes you get some games that sort of wrecks it because it's constantly used. And like
Cowboys and Panthers.
yeah, well there you go. There's a classic example.
It was starting to really annoy me.
Like you get
No, tell us what you really think. It was pissing you off.
We were getting them, but it was annoying me because I just wanted the
But-
game to play.
But were they doing something wrong
yeah.
to get the 6 again?
Yeah, but
So if what I'm saying is, if they don't give the 6 again, well, we'll just keep being within the 10 or something. They're doing something wrong.
but how long until you've got to start going to when Cowboys were just constant on their line, making a mistake, you know?
Yeah.
How long till someone goes to bin or something?
You'd already sent 2 to the bin, though.
It was another one. 'cause
Send the whole
it was
team.
clear on purpose doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've got to do something like either to the bin, or is there a new rule where if it's constantly like that, if you're not going to send someone to the bin, you get a 4-point penalty or something?
Yeah. Well, you look before it come in. After the third penalty, someone would get marked, like the captain, or someone would get marked 10. But now you can defend for 18 to 24 tackles, and
So there's no incentive to
there's no incentive.
So that's what I mean. Like, do they bring in after the fourth or fifth in a row on when you're defending your line? If it's clear, do you do whatever they call it, and it becomes a 4-point penalty kick?
Something like that. And or after the third or fourth one, the ref blows a whistle twice or something, whatever. They run 10 metres, tap it on their feet, and keep running and get the 6 from then.
Although
because the team will be here, they'll blow it twice. They've got to get back 10 metres because this guy's going to run up. You know what I mean? He's already got the momentum coming forward. Taps on his foot, he starts running. No one can touch him if they're within the 10 metres.
Or that bloke that after the third or fourth time, the next one that doesn't gets off for a set of 6. Bang, you're off. It gets to the sidelines. I know it's going to be hard to police and rule, but that attacking team gets a free, a man overlap for a set of 6. I know it's got to be something because it's blatantly being taken away.
Tyson Frizzell is to remain a Knight until the end of 2025.
Yeah, he come out this week and said the best thing he ever did
Was leave the Dragons?
Yes.
Well, he spent,
They all say that, don't they?
he would have at the time.
The best thing he ever did was come to Newcastle.
Yeah, well, he left. He spent 9 years at the Dragons, so he needed a fresh start.
But his 2 favourite teams growing up as a kid, do you know who they were?
Newcastle
And St George. So he's played for both. So you won't get a nicer bloke than Tyson Frizzell, to be honest.
and he's started his career at Cronulla.
Well, yeah.
Roosters' Joey Manu is set to undergo surgery on his fractured hand and will miss about 4 weeks.
Did you see that?
Yeah, did you hear it?
No.
Yeah, no, thanks. It was pretty nasty. Still feel it.
Angus Crichton has signed a $1.6 million extension with the Roosters.
He's not worth that. Oh no, he's playing good football, Origin and this year, but it's been very far between. I mean, $1.6 million.
That's a lot of biggies, isn't it?
I think there's a few others that you could probably get 2 for that price, to be honest.
He's got to stay consistent now.
Well,
just quickly, a lot of blokes, when they get paid that much amount of money, once they play for a contract, will go back into their shell for a little bit.
I'm not saying.
Anyone agree with that?
Yes.
He was 3/4 away at the door, but before he signed.
That's right. Well, he had a whinge.
Yeah.
He was on the mushrooms, ready to go.
The Roosters are reportedly set to begin negotiating a long-term extension with Sam Walker. He's available from November this year, and the Roosters want to re-sign him before this.
Oh, well, they'll fit him in the sombrero somewhere. It's not a cap.
Paul Kent has finally been sacked by both the Daily Telegraph and Fox Sports.
Oh, our good mate John Hopewade come out today and he's got a finger up in the air and go, couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. Old Hopper. We'll have to get him back on.
Yep.
The NRL are investigating and attempting to identify an attendee who allegedly abused Junior Paulo, or Paulo, however they say it, at full time at McDonald Jones Stadium on Saturday.
Well, before we go any further, apparently, this is allegedly, it was an Eels fan, I was told. Whether it's Knights or, and, some people have been coming out going, oh, typical Newcastle fan, you wouldn't expect anything else. I'm sorry, but it happens in every club. And that's not the way.
Yep.
I don't act like that at the game. And I'm a Newcastle fan. There's a lot of others that don't act like that. So don't tar everyone with that one brush. And if you're watching, mate, you're an absolute tool. I guarantee you, if the security or Junior could get to him, he wouldn't be saying shit. And if anyone out there knows who it is, send us a message. We've got video footage, but we don't know who it is. I want to know who it is. Let Junior Paulo go and have 5 minutes with him. I guarantee you, he'll squeal like a bitch.
Pretty sure the footage was saying, someone was yelling at, why don't you get down and say it to his face?
Oh, he was pumped up.
Yeah.
You remember at the game, I was telling Kylie there, one more standing there talking to, who was it at the time? Oh, no. And we seen security guard Bolton down there. That's what it was for.
Yep.
One of the nicest blokes you want to meet, too. Junior.
Yeah, it's just a shame he plays for the Eels.
Which brings me to a point, should they monitor the amount of drinks people have at the stadium, because the bloke that we were talking to could
Oh.
barely stand up.
He was very close to getting knocked down too.
Yeah, security had him, was watching him.
I noticed that. He was talking to me, and the
He was
security
talking to me going, he's drunk. I said, yeah, look, he's a bit drunk. And Dean's face is going, like, you're going bright red.
Oh, he had his hands like that. And I thought, one more.
Yeah, no. And then as soon as you started to feel like he was sort of like tame, you went up a little bit further and started talking to someone else. But prior to that, you looking at me and your face was going bright red.
Another touch on the shoulder, he would have been in the next bed next to Joey
Oh,
Manu. Snap.
You know, look, he had a kid with him too. That was the thing.
He was
Oh,
pretty
Stop
blind.
me.
Yeah.
And he'll probably drive home.
You don't touch my wife.
He also
You know what I mean? Like,
No, but I'm talking about the alcohol.
yeah.
apparently he also abused Jackson Hastings before
Yes.
that as well.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, why abuse Jackson Hastings? He just played probably the best game he's played since coming to the club.
He's a tool.
Yeah, some people. That goes back to the whole thing. Do we need alcohol at the footy? Well, or as much? Like, cut them off.
Whoever's serving needs to take note.
But not only that, not a good role model for his child that he would take and getting a
We
photo.
couldn't even. I don't even know if he could say his own kid's name.
He lost his phone. That's how we come about talking to
Should
him.
have took some selfies.
Stuff you may have missed.
He wins the prize.
It is reported Josh Hannay has had his second interview with the Eels, although they are still no closer to deciding their next head coach. Put your hand up. For the job.
No.
What happened to Ross?
Yeah.
Perfect candidate for the job, eh?
I don't think the Eels know they're itchy. to be
Well,
honest.
you won't have to worry about because you've already got grey hair, so you fit in the coaching role pretty good.
It's silver.
Yeah.
Or silver, whatever.
What are you looking at me for?
What are you looking at me for?
I was just thinking you deserve a cul-de-sac for that.
Buzz Rothfield says Suncorp
Oh.
is no match for the adversity the Blues have already faced and declares they will win the decider. He references Latrell swearing on radio, Lenu's racial slur and Lomax overcoming being moved to the wing as some of the adversity.
This bloke just never ceases to amaze me.
The Kangaroos have confirmed Zach Lomax is on track to make his international debut this season. If he keeps his form up, then he's in the picture definitely, said Mal Meninga.
100% he should be.
Yep.
Him on one wing and Brian To'o on the other. With Greg Marju on reserve.
I don't think he's an Australian, Greg.
Well, he is now. Yeah, no, he's Samoa.
Yeah.
It was when it's Samoa. I think he's New Zealand and Samoa. So he's multi.
Yeah.
But in saying that too, he can always change again, like everyone else seems to do. But
And
You think
Dylan,
Zach should be in?
100% he should. If it's picked on form.
If he's, yeah,
Dylan Edwards fullback.
Yeah.
no.
We're talking Zach Lomax.
Okay, yeah, I'll throw one in for you. Bradman Best keeps playing the way he's played for
Yeah.
the rest of the year. Who's your centre pairing?
Crichton. Oh, he can't play because he's Samoan, isn't he? Sorry. Best and... That's a very good question. I'll have to...
Is Crichton? Now, Crichton can still play for Australia.
So Samoa's a tier 2, isn't it? That's not a...
Yeah, so he can play for Australia. Because Luai did. Luai's Samoa.
So that means Tohu too then? 'cause it's, yeah, okay. Well,
It's Crichton and Best for me. As good as Latrell's been playing, I mean, like, you put those two together, Crichton and Bradman Bass.
Yeah.
I'm not a Latrell fan, but I think he'd have to be there somewhere.
But where do you put him? This is my
On the
issue.
bench somewhere.
I was going to
Well,
say,
yeah.
bring him off the bench.
I reckon it might be time for Latrell to start playing second row or something.
Yeah, utility.
The Knights have reportedly informed Daniel Saifidi, Jaden Brayley and Jack Hetherington they are all free to negotiate with rival clubs and leave the Knights.
My news too is it's not finished there. There's a few more that could possibly get told to.
Marching orders.
Yes. I'm not saying it's a good thing they're going because it's a shame some of your players have been there for a long time, but I suppose you've got to clean the cupboard out. But I like Jack Hetherington, and I wish he would stay. But he's, probably a hard nut, and he'll take anyone. But
Yeah.
off the field, he's like after a game, he's the nicest bloke, isn't he?
stayed around after the game, doing a lot of signing autographs, didn't he?
And when, who was it? we got our butt handed to us, and he came over and apologised and said, "Sorry, you had to watch that." Like,
They didn't have to do it, but
no,
No.
yeah, good on you, Jack.
Michael Maguire admits Mitch Moses is still his preferred halfback for the Origin decider. Even if Nathan Cleary does return prior and is fit, you don't change what's working, he said. And I agree.
I do. I agree. You don't change something that's not broken. Mm-hmm. But the only problem is you look at how good Nathan is and probably arguably the world's best player. Do you try to fit him in somewhere?
Nah.
But where is the issue? You'd have to look at it, I'm going, because you can't just go, oh no, he's not coming back. It's the world's best player. You have to, at the moment, you have to look at it. But you can't break that side. It stays.
Oh,
when is he due back?
Round 20.
when's Origin?
So I think it's the week of.
Well, there you go. That answers it for me.
Yeah.
Not fit. No game.
No.
Well, as you said, but like earlier,
They wouldn't let Moses back in.
Yeah. Do you bring him back fresh for a run at the finals for the Panthers, or do you risk him for one game for New South Wales?
Oh,
Right, get a bit bigger glory for me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Moses.
They didn't bring him back.
No, look how him and Luai
Yeah.
performed.
Jill.
Really.
And Moses backed it up quite well on Saturday night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Moses was probably what kept him in the game with Newcastle, to be honest, I feel. One of your surprise packages of the year,
Moses?
Jerome Luai. How he's
In the number 7.
in the number 7 jersey. Who would have thought he could be so, obviously the Tigers, because they've signed him for it, but yeah.
Well, it's a blessing in disguise for the Tigers now, isn't it? Because it shows that he can do this on his own without having to be the shadow of Cleary. So,
Well, there's always a little bit of doubt there, wasn't it? Because,
it was.
another good bloke, but Jack Cogger
Yeah.
shined
Yeah.
at Penrith. Come to Newcastle, struggling to get a start in reserve grade now.
Maybe,
I did say that, didn't I, before he even come here? I said it's a total different system.
and maybe you might have to go back there.
Well, to be honest, I think if he went back to Penrith, he'd fit straight back in. And, you'd see probably the best of Jack. It's just a total, even when the Knights signed him off, I said, no. You're looking at, you got this play and then coming here, it just doesn't fit. Just didn't fit, and it's proven.
Yep.
He's down the pecking order now after what we saw out of Will Price,
Oh,
which we'll go into a bit more on.
The Tigers have announced they will share their home games amongst Combank, Campbelltown and Leichhardt stadiums for the next 3 seasons.
Weren't they knocking one of them down? Weren't they knocking Leichhardt down?
Yeah, they were talking about it.
They can play there then.
this is
Or just go to Combank, you reckon?
Let him play
Fair
games.
review.
Let him play.
Combank's great stadium.
Let him play some games at Concord Oval.
Where are we going to play next year?
Combank, I'd say.
Thanks, Garry.
Well, look, realistically, that and Elliot is Allianz, the Roosters New York. Probably the premier places to watch football in. I haven't been to Scuncorp, but they reckon that's pretty good.
Why don't they play a couple at the cricket ground?
No.
Too far away.
Yeah, that is. People go, oh, it's a great ground. Yeah, for cricket, not football.
You have to watch it on the screen.
You want to be up on the action. You stay far back.
Just a suggestion.
It's like the MCG.
I was going to say, it's like with the MCG the other year when I went down and watched the Origin down there, it was. You're
good.
watching there, you're watching ants.
Out of glass.
Yeah.
Adam Gosser. You took the words out of my mouth.
Another good one.
Multiple NRL club bosses are reportedly set to discuss the 6 again rule with the NRL in the post-season. It's believed clubs are no longer in support of the rule change.
Can we go down and put our 2 cents worth in?
Yeah, not that it'll matter. But let's do it.
And lastly, Corey Horsburgh has been suspended for 3 games after pleading guilty to 2 striking charges in the New South Wales Cup.
Oh, big ginger cat.
He just wanted to get a bit of publicity, didn't he?
Oh, good on him. Like, he plays with heart, and he's not scared to have a cry. Oh, he just shows how passionate he is. And I think he's on the word I've heard is things are not good in Canberra for him. So, I mean, he's an Origin forward. Yeah, he'll be good at some club. Parramatta.
We'll get him.
Yeah, to be honest. I rate the bloke. We had
You just like ginger.
Nah,
Injured blokes.
you just like blokes in general. Moving on.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, that's the NRL news, is it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll take a short break and be back shortly. All right, guys, welcome back, and it's time for some gas bag.
Gas bag time once again. First one is from Michael Goodwin. Is it time for the NRL to form a professional national reserve grade comp to all our Queensland Cup and New South Wales Cup comps to concentrate on being semi-pro statewide league, not half-state league and half reserves?
100%. Instead of Q Cup and New South Wales Cup, should be just reserve grade. And when you travel, we should have women's, men's, women's, reserve grade, first grade.
Great.
So we travel to Penrith, we take all three grades.
That's a great question.
It is. Who was it?
Michael Goodwin.
I like it. And
like it.
It has to be that way, I feel. Yourselves?
Yeah,
Yep.
get your money's worth.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
get-
Yeah.
They want bums on seats. Give them some show.
We went on the weekend, it was three grades.
The last two games were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great going early and watching the three grades.
Watching the young talent, yeah, for sure.
My only issue is, well, I've got an issue later where I'll bring up about getting there early last week. And has it been brought up with anyone this week? You know?
No.
All right, I'll address it now. Okay. So we get there early, as you know, and gates open. We're there before gates even open. And we go in, we watch all three grades. Well, last week, the NRLW, the gates opened at
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. NRLW was on 3:45 out the front. So you couldn't come back out to go to the NRLW if you're already inside. There's no pass outside the side this week. So what? You don't want us to support the younger grades? So we couldn't take the kids out to see the
wrong.
NRLW.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
It's silly.
What an absolute stupidity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or they should have had the NRLW somewhere inside the ground.
So as a sweetener, they got announced to just before the main game.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
The kids
I know.
want autographs
I know.
and stuff
Right.
and photos. And
And only one girl come up to us.
yeah, except for when we're walking near the gate. Tamika Upton and...
We were out the front, yeah.
yeah.
But I'm talking about after they got introduced on the ground. Like, Portia wanted to get photos with the young women, and yeah, no, they just walked past.
I think the problem was it was all rushed.
Yeah, because the game was close to starting.
So I feel it was poorly organised. Maybe, okay, they didn't want people going outside. Well, maybe I should have done it somewhere inside.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, just say, well, you can go out, come back in. That's what security's for. But I just thought it was a bit harsh on the kids that missed out. And but I will say, Tamika Upton and Hannah Southwell stopped and a photo for Portia, and they were really nice about it. So,
Was Jessie, wasn't it?
oh, Jessie, did I say Hannah?
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, it was Jessie Southwell. So, and I tell you what, they were nice, really nice. Send Portia one photo, and they were really nice to us. So, that's what it's all about for me. Is for the kids, they're the future of the game. So, yeah, moving on.
Bill Newton's got here. How bloody good were the Blues last week? Do you think we can come away with a series win in 2 weeks with the same team? And the second half of the question, do you think Billy will change his team?
I will answer your question with a question. Why can't we?
I can't see it being the 34 zit like it was.
No, it mightn't be, but I wouldn't change. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
No. And
Billy will add some changes.
If Ashley Klein refs it, we won't win it.
What are you saying?
Games are...
Just saying.
What, lost by the ref
Yes.
and the bunker?
But let it flow. Like, let him go,
Adam G's the best big performer ref.
Yeah. There was a little bit of argy-bargy in that. And let it go. It's Origin. Well, how entertaining was it? Watching Spencer.
After it's over, they have a beer with each other anyway.
But, were you on the edge of your seat when you seen Spencer arcing up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for him to get on the field.
I know. I was excited, wasn't
You're always excited, eh?
I? Oh, I love watching the aggression, and it's, it's...
By this stage, he had about 6 dragons deep, so he was probably his eyes are like matchsticks.
No, it's pretty good then, no?
Simon Jones writes, Madge turned the Kiwis around in just one game in the Pacific Championships. Is he about to do the same for New South Wales?
I hope so.
Yeah, but you also got to look at the calibre of players they had. And Madge had a pretty stacked team for the Kiwis too. James Fisher-Harris wins Golden Boot that year. So he's got a fair side now as well. But then you go back and you look at the side he had playing for the Tigers. Stack side, no side. So, I mean, yeah, he's possibly going to do it, but you've got to look at the stack of players he's got too and give the players a bit of credit.
Yep.
But there is some good coaching in there as well. You agree?
100%.
Yeah.
Have a sip of your dragon.
Oh, mate,
You've
I've
got
had
a
a
tickle
few.
in the throat,
I
haven't
do,
you?
eh? Got the man flu coming.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, God.
Just look at the look.
I feel sorry for
I'm
you.
going to work.
It's a bit harsh.
Simon Gibson. Why do you think the refs and bunker having more influence on the game we are supposed to enjoy? Big question mark. You were just saying.
Say no
Let
more.
the-
We've said it for how long have we been doing podcasts for?
We just finished saying, let it run.
But the thing is, they're not using the technology for the things they should. Forward passes.
Forward pass is a big one.
100%. 100%.
But then they go back to, replays of you slowing it down and it makes it look like an error when it's probably not.
Even Andrew John said, played it real time. Take it on the slow to make sure, yep.
9 times out of 10, but you don't need that replay to be slowed down because we're watching it on TV. We can see it. They see the same thing. Just watch that replay. Bang, done. Forward passes. Why can't they rule forward passes? Why can't the bunker also step in if they're watching the game on the weekend when the Eels done the kickoff and it didn't go to 10?
Yeah.
Why couldn't the bunker step in? They're all wide to each other. Didn't go to 10. Penalty.
May as
Bang.
well not do it. May as well not have touchies because they
I was
don't
gonna
do
say.
nothing.
Get rid of the touchy.
We offered old mate touch him out on Knight's flag. He might as well stand there with that.
This is what they look like.
Well, there was two incidents this week where they've had a dropout and it hasn't gone 10 and the referees said it's gone 10.
But imagine if that cost you, a spot in the grand final, or the grand final.
Yeah.
You'd be ropeable.
The poor Raiders a few years back.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that, It'd be riots. Well, they would. One man riot, maybe. Moving on.
You'll get a couple of followers. That's it for Gazbag this
Don't
week.
look at me like that every time.
That's it for
Gazbag.
Gazbag, yeah.
That was
Good questions.
some good ones. I like the first one.
First one was
Honestly,
beauty.
if we gave a prize away for a question of the year, that's got to be out there. That's,
Noted.
Noted.
Anyway, we'll take another short break and be back shortly. Alright guys, welcome back. It's that time of week again where we go check about the week that was with Elliot. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, Dean. How are you guys?
Yeah, good champion. Some better than others. But
This is the loser end.
yeah, but I'll enjoy it while we can. But mate, some good footy on the weekend and Origin as well.
Yeah. It's it was a great week if you're a New South Wales and Newcastle fan, I suppose. Origin. Even though I expected New South Wales to win that game, I don't think anyone saw that first half coming the way it did. The biggest concern for me is New South Wales can do that, and I know we won't get the same team in game 3. I still think they're a chance of winning it, but it'll be a tight tussle. I don't know. What they find in game 2, for the most part, I wish they could channel more in a game 1 and 3 because, again, as we've seen so often in the past, they were so much better than Queensland.
I've said it all year, and it's probably getting a little bit
Monotonous.
Yeah, monotonous. But how good was Spencer?
Yeah, I love energy and you look at the Queensland equivalent back in the day. The more I watch Spencer, the more he reminds me of Carl Webb when he was off the bench, in particular for Queensland. Because not only does he have the energy, I think he's got the fear factor. He's not a tall human being. He's built like a brick, yes, but I don't think there is a man that runs harder in the game, and I think he only played, 20, 25 minutes, but geez, they were impactful.
I'd seen Reece Walsh trying to have a go at him. I thought, mate, he'll fold you into a crane. Like, yeah, I love watching him play. Like, it's just like you said, the energy, the excitement he brings, and when he comes on, like he's coming to come on, I get up on my seat. I love it. I love the aggression, and I say let him go. With Origin, let's bend the rules a little bit and let him go. That's no, it'll probably never happen, but it should.
Yeah, well, I think, and I saw a lot of Queenslanders on social media complaining about Ashley Klein probably forgetting he refereed game 1 as well. I will say I'm still a bit miffed that Adam G didn't get the gig. I thought he was really good last year and has been in the past, and it felt like Klein at times was losing control of that game in the wrong moments. I mean, Liam Martin sent off for what he was, and Pat Carrigan was farcical. It wouldn't have happened in Origin a long time ago, but shouldn't happen now either. There was certain penalties in 6 against. I thought, geez, and for both sides, I just thought, just let them play. It's Origin. Yeah, I know you can't necessarily bend the rules, but you should be able to find a way to let the game flow a bit more.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I thought, to be honest, last game was probably the most exciting game for a number of years. And it's built for game 3. It's made that spectacle where people are really, involved and waiting to see what's going to happen. So, it's going to produce a lot of money for Queensland. It'll be a sellout up there, or probably would anyway. The Queenslanders love their footy, but it's going to be absolutely, I can't wait, to be honest. Anyway, player of the series. Oh, a smoky for you.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Well, I actually, responsibly, I had a look at Sportsbet yesterday and saw Angus Crichton at 51 to 1. I know he wasn't man of the match in game 1 or 2, but he was close in game 2, and if he has a barnstormer in 3, he's a red-hot chance.
I tell you what, he's surprised a lot of people, myself as well. Like I said even to Kyle, I think probably last game, I thought the two Crichtons were probably one of the best there. They played really well. So yeah, I think Crichton could be up there with one as well. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've made no secret. I always loved Matt Gillette. He was my favourite player in the NRL, but the last probably 3 to 4 years, it's been Stephen Crichton. I love his effort areas. I know Coley doesn't want to talk too much about the switch, but he's the best transfer over this past year. He's the best signing by any club by a long way. I love everything he's done at Canterbury. To have them sitting in 5th, he's such a huge part of that, and they reckon the bloke he is off the field too. I know there was a story floating around about Nico Hines getting jeered as he walked off the ground the other day, and could have ran after him and put his arm around him, had some words to him, and ran back out in the field with his teammates and the fans. He's everything you want in a leader. New South Wales are very lucky to have him.
100%. Viliamu, Fish next year, they're all big losses to Penrith, but none bigger, I think, than Stephen Crichton. Stephen Crichton is I don't know why they didn't go after and just try wrap Crichton up at Penrith and build a team around him.
How about I just go to the house and get some salt so you can rub it in? It still hurts.
Moving on. Sorry, Dale. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But anyway, we'll get into some of the last week's games. And Bulldogs 15 over the Sharks 14. Bit of a cracker of a game, this one, I thought.
Just Canterbury finding a way. Matt Burton's boot, even those 2 field goal attempts he missed, he struck them really cleanly. Got him home in the end. You can't help but feel for Nico missing in front when I think it was probably harder to miss than slot that field goal he had. But there's more problems than Nico at the Sharks. It's their mentality come this time of the year. I don't know what it is. Craig Fitzgibbon, from all reports, is a great coach, but they cannot get it right at the business end. And they're sitting in the top 4 now. I've got them slipping out of the 8 come the end of the season. I think the skid continues.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've been saying it for a bit that they're a good side to be where they are, but there's something missing that they're just not a premiership contender. See, Not sure what it is, but yeah, I mean, they got some classy players, but
Can't put it together.
speaking of the Dogs, reportedly Chad Townsend could be headed that way, but the Roosters have now put their hand up as well.
Yeah, I spoke to Chad today, who confirmed his exit from the Cowboys. He won't be there next year. Look, he didn't confirm anything. I think you can put your whole nighttime podcast bank salary, which I know is huge money, on him being in a Roosters jersey next year, which
Roosters.
I have only learned over the last day as well. I didn't see it coming, but he'll partner Sam Walker in the halves there next year.
I tell you what. Oh, I'm going to throw it out there early. I might put a bit of money on the Roosters before any games kicked off to win the comp next year. I mean, they got some handy players.
Going to use Uncle Nick's money, or
yeah, of course. And then you get Sam Walker, now Chad Townsend. Like, I rate Chad Townsend. I reckon he's still got some good years ahead of him.
Yeah, but just because they're big names doesn't mean they're going to gel.
No, I think they're, well, true, but I reckon. Oh.
Well, not straight away anyway.
But, well, I knew you would know more than if anyone, mate, about Chad, so that was my question.
Yeah, and again, I'm not confirming from his mouth, just his exit, but yeah, I put in a couple of calls today. He'll be a Rooster unless a Fafita incident happens. He'll be a Rooster in 2025.
Speaking of Rooster incidents, did you hear of the... hang on, that could be something later in the... I'll leave that out. Something later in the segment that I might have spoiled for someone already. The Warriors, 32. Over the Broncos, 16.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening at Brisbane, because even I know they're missing Reynolds, and I know they didn't have Walsh and Carrigan in that game, but their roster's still too good to be where they are. One thing that frustrates me a bit watching Brisbane at the moment, and I'll give Jackson Hastings his flowers on this, is watching Brisbane's halves. Outside of them, on both edges, they have out-and-out superstars. In your Cobbos, Kiakura runs a great line. You got Staggs on the other side of the field. The flat-out refusal from Brisbane's halves to give early ball to their outside backs really confuses me. And I mentioned Hastings because I think what will go unappreciated from what Jackson's done the last couple of years of Bradman Best is unlocked him. And he's unlocked him with a very simple game plan of, here you go, Bradman, here's early ball. Here's a chance for you to be one-on-one with your defender. And Brisbane did that once with Cobbo on the weekend, and he scored a try and had it overturned. And outside of that, he didn't see any ball like that. And it really blows my mind when you've got a kid. I don't know if you've ever seen Selwyn in the flesh. He's a humongous human being. He moves beautifully, and they just flat out refuse to get him the ball.
Interesting. Well, Adam Reynolds is a huge loss.
I hope they refuse to give him the ball Friday night.
Well, there you go. You've just answered the question for later on. Now I know who you're playing. Yeah, but any team, yeah, Adam Reynolds is a huge loss. Like, you see as soon as he comes back in, bang, kick back into gear. But interesting to see what goes on there. But the Warriors have come back to form, mate. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see that performance as we were talking about before against the Titans from the Warriors again, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's still a couple of issues there. Sean Johnson is more injured than they'd like us to believe, to the point where I don't know when he returns. Charles Nickel-Clockstad, I'm told, is playing injured, and we've seen his involvement the last couple of weeks probably show that. At his best, he's carrying the ball twice a set. He's the busiest fullback in the competition just about, but he's been quiet. They wouldn't tell me what, but he's carrying an eagle at the moment, the Warriors. But the great story is Tamate Martin, the issue with his brain, where he was going to have to medically retire to be able to come back and to play halfback at a high level. I spoke to Gavin Cooper last week, who you guys know could find the try line off Jonathan Thurston on any day of the week, and he says Tamate was the best 5'8" that he ever played with. So obviously that was the halfback, but he really rates him. Really rates him, and it's showing at the moment.
Gavin Cooper was a very underrated player, I feel. I liked watching Gavin play. Oh, yeah, that's a big rap. So, yeah, I think he's great too. Great player. But I'm no disrespect to Sean Johnson, but Harris Tavita, I'm a big fan. I think he offers a lot, and obviously there is an injury of Sean Johnson that we don't. I like to see this combination stick and play for a while, and then excuse me, getting closer to the finals, Sean Johnson could come back, and he got a good run to the finals, and I like it. Anyway. Moving on to the game of the round. The Knights 34 over the Dragons 26, Garry.
Knights 34, Eels 26, not Dragons.
Oh, sorry. Eels 26.
Thanks.
You got dragons on the brain.
Oh, I was looking at Little Dragon, sorry.
You had something else.
Pick on Garry.
And, the Eels 26, Garry.
Yeah, I think we were ripped off.
It was a good game, actually, mate. The debut of Will Price. Scoring too.
What was it, 17th v 13th at the time, and it felt like 4th v 5th. It was a really good game of football. I think Parramatta lose no fans, and that Mitchell Moses is untouchable at the moment. You guys watched it live on the screen. I forget just how fast he is when he's fully fit. He absolutely burned Gagai, I think, twice. But, yeah, for Newcastle, the ability to hang in there. Will Price, I love the debut. I like he didn't overplay his hand. I love that he was there to support a big middle to score that try. And obviously the story outside of his amazing post-game interview was Bradman Best, the most run meters for a centre in the NRL era. The 2 runaway tries. I was just hoping his hammies didn't give up on him in that last run in particular. You've got 2 out-and-out superstars in Stephen Crichton and Latrell Mitchell in the centres for New South Wales. If that's not the case, Bradman's there. And some people online saying, he has 1 or 2 good games. This has been the way he's played his football for the last 18 months.
100%.
He is now an elite centre in the NRL.
And... yeah, that's if Latrell and Crichton weren't playing as good as they would, he'd be, like you said, he'd be straight in. But this is good on Bradman, because he could have with being snubbed from Origin, and he could have went to water, but he's just turned again and said, look, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to play. And I think the way he's playing, Greg Marju follows. And, like Marju had a bit of a slow start, but then bang, kicked into it, and he was in the beast mode again, and had some massive stats as well.
He's also very well defensively too. Like I think he's just as good in attack in defence as well as he's in attack. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I love Will Penasini as a player. I think he's a great player, and Bradman bodied him all night. And I'm not talking about attack like you guys are saying. His defence, his reads, I can't say enough good things about Bradman Best. I don't know the bloke as a human being, but speaking of Parry and a few blokes here, I think one thing that doesn't get picked up is how mentally tough he is. And he's come back from some pretty horrible injuries at a young age, and he's a really smart footballer, and I love watching him.
Even the things where people were saying when he went on the buy over to Bali. They were kicking him before they knew the full story. He was over there helping a bloke that had nothing. And, and he was giving a bloke a house over there. Like, he doesn't have to do that. So good on him. Like, he's a good story coming up for the young kids as well, I feel. And, I wouldn't swap him for anyone, to be honest. So we're happy that night, that's for sure, mate. Some of us were. Leo Thompson was a late withdrawal, but...
wasn't he devastated? As soon as he found out, he wanted to go home.
You did too.
I was joking. But,
joking.
No gamble, no Thompson. I actually was thinking of you, thinking you're probably crying.
Oh, thanks, bud.
To be fair, I thought the Stafidi boys were good. Obviously, the news on the rounds that Daniel's confirmed he's looking for a new club in 2025, which is a sad end to his long stint at the Knights. But in saying that, it's probably the best move for all parties. Interesting that his brother will be staying at this stage anyway. But that's the job of O'Sullivan coming in, is to tap a few players on the shoulders. I know this year the Knights are pretty well under the salary cap, but next year is where issues start coming in.
Okay. this is a hot topic. We've had multiple emails and inboxes asking, can you confirm, deny, or no comment Leo Thompson's brother? Is he coming to the club?
Yes, he'll be there next year on a training trial. The early mail was that he was going to be before the June 30 deadline. Obviously not the case, but he will be there in a training trial capacity. So won't be straight into the top 30. They want to see how he makes the switch. But if he's anything like Leo, I don't think he's going to have too many dramas. So yeah, you can strike that one up as a tick. He'll be there to start next year.
Sweet as. There we go. So our inboxes will be a lot.
Inboxes. I'm pretty sure you ask Elliot the same question every week.
We are asked on the weekend. Same people asked us some questions about that too.
Always.
Thank you.
Hey, El, have you got
a
a scoop where Safedi may play next year?
No, not unless he goes from taking over 800 to under 400.
This is the...
I don't think he's a knight in 2025. I don't think Jaden Brayley's a knight in 2025. Apologies, the dog is going nuts. And I won't comment on Jackson Hastings, but he's the other name that's been thrown around as who knows whether he'll play his final contract year or not. But yeah, those first two, I'd be pretty confident in saying they won't be there.
Jack Everington was another.
Yeah, well, Jack's on pretty good money for a bench forward that's not playing that many minutes. He's on somewhere around that 500 mark, which is starting prop money at a lot of clubs and then some. So, yeah, I wouldn't surprise me to see him leave.
It's a shame, Mike.
So my missus just rocked up. I almost flashed too much. Anyway.
It's all good. It's not live. We can edit.
She was trying to get in my face about something and then, yeah, almost lifted her shirt up at the
Do you need to go?
Oh, no, not at all. No, she's just run away in shame.
Anyway, we'll move on, mate, for you so we can wrap it up for you.
On from that?
The Storm 16 over the Raiders 6.
Yep.
Yeah, I was...
Horrible game. God, I hated this game. I was happy for Josh King's scoring. That was about it. I thought Melbourne tried about 17 different times to lose the game, and Canberra tried about 24 times to make sure that Melbourne won. It was
terrible.
That'll explain why Bellamy looks so... I only saw a picture of him on the internet because we didn't watch the game, and yeah, he looked distraught.
Yeah, honestly, Josh King, good story out of it. Grant Anderson, we talked about it. He's an ex-butcher boy from Newey. He's playing the best footy he has in first grade. I thought he looked all right. Yeah, outside of that, geez, it was a hard watch. It was really, even the debutant, poor old Martin, that was from the Raiders, who did his ACL last year, finally gets his debut this year, gets sent off with an HIA after, I think, 6 minutes or 5 minutes of his debut. That summed up the game. It was a debacle.
It's one of the ones you won't watch the replay again, that's for sure.
No, the KO shorts would be about 10 seconds long of Josh King scoring, and that's it. So.
Speaking of games... Oh, I won't. Dragons 26 over the Dolphins 6. I actually was pretty impressed with Raymond.
For Taylor Mariner.
That's him. I'm a big fan of him. I like him. I thought he was hard done by at the Dogs. I think there's a little bit more to the story and pushed out of the club. And I rate him. I think he's going to start really pushing into the form that we know that Raymond can play, really.
Yeah, it's a good story because from all reports, kicked stones a little bit at Canterbury, so... I think there was, both sides maybe not necessarily in the right with that, but he's rocked up to St George with the right attitude. And speaking to, I spoke to a few of the boys at the Titans today actually, and they were singing the praises of the improvement from the Dragon side when they played them a little bit earlier this year. I said their outside backs obviously so skillful, your Zach Lomaxes, but they said they're tough through the middle, which wasn't the case. I think probably underrated form is Frankie Molo, who moved from North Queensland to St George on big money. I think he's on the 800 mark. Probably hasn't shown that form until the last 6 weeks in particular. I think he sets the platform up front. Luciano Leilua's starting to string some good games together. Benny Hunt now has a support in the 6 that will work his tail off for him. A lot of people say a lot of things about Kyle Flanagan, but you can never knock his effort. Yeah, they're playing good enough footy to deserve. I think they're in 6th or 7th as we speak.
We're in 8th, I think, but we've got a hard run coming up now. We've got Roosters, Brisbane, Melbourne, Penrith, Dogs.
And that's the thing. Like, if the Dragons don't make the 8 this year, but they can finish somewhere around that 10th, I still think you almost tick the box.
Oh, it's
because look at what Flanagan's done for. Whether we see Lomax backflip or not, I don't know. But he's turned him into a rep player. There's little unsung players like Jacob Little's probably playing his best footy. As we said, Frankie Molo and to see Ben Hunt completely turn from so desperate to get out of there. I'm pretty sure he would have signed to play prop at the Titans last year to he wants to extend and finish his career at St George. It says a lot about what's happening behind the scenes there. I know Dean Young really well. He's a terrific operator, and Flanagan clearly has the respect of that change room.
I reckon this year's a building year for him.
Yeah.
Rebuilding.
Ben Hunt's got the most try assists in the NRL, and one you've missed out on is Jaden Sewer. He's been a gun.
Yep, no, you're right. And I mean, to him, I would never have, at the start of the year, thought Jaden Sewer would be playing start of Origin footy again, and deservedly so, but you bang on. He's back to the tough stuff. You speak a few years ago, the boys used to always say Jaden Sewer's the hardest hitter in the NRL. You never wanted to run into him, and he's back to being that player again this year. Shane Flanagan, I don't know him. Spoke to a few people that worked with him at Fox. I know not everyone loved his commentary, but they said he's such a great rugby league mind. You can see why he was able to build that Cronulla club, and you can see why he's having success at St George.
Onwards and upwards with St George,
It's only going to get better.
Moving on.
Moving right on. Roosters and Tigers.
You missed one. Cowboys 16, Panthers 6, but hang on.
No buts.
No, hang on.
No buts.
They lost their whole spine.
The Cowboys were missing players too.
Yes, but they had their original, well, all but original spine, except for Jake Clifford, which is no slouch. So you've got to take a little bit out of that and say, well, they
He's
didn't.
been trying to make me feel better since the game.
Hey, it's true, but isn't it? You know, any team that loses their spine is going to find it hard.
Pretty crappy weather as well.
Yeah, they can't play in the wet.
But James Fisher-Harris, what a game he played.
Yeah, he played 49 minutes or 50 minutes straight in the middle, which is a phenomenal effort. They were just clunky in that attacking end. You're right. Look, the Cowboys are missing 2 spine members in no Robson, no Dearden as well. But what the Cowboys did in their very few chances in the red zone, they spread the ball and just cut Penrith for numbers. Probably a couple of things out of that game, and I'm always wary being negative towards players, but Isaac Tungo either needs a spell in Reggie's or a boot up the bum at the moment.
100%.
I don't know where one of the best centres in the competition a year ago has gone.
We really missed Taylor May, his partner.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think you're probably right, but yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a game. We called that one on Triple M where I've seen a team dominate the ruck so much, the play the ball speed, and lose by 2 scores. The Cowboys were just giving up so many metres, but they were able to find ways to hang on in their defensive end, which, they were obviously very happy with that win. But yeah, Penrith will wonder where they went. It's the first time they've lost a day game at home since 2019 or something silly. So yeah, it's a big win for North Queensland.
Penrith threw everything but the kitchen sink at them for over and over and over again.
And 2 Cowboys players were sin binned and all those 6 agains, and we still couldn't capitalise on it.
But, you know, this is where I go back to Schneider's good, but he's gone down in form. You're lacking, last year you had backup halves that would come in, bang, perfect
I thought
cover.
he was one of the best.
I thought Dane Laurie was their best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been critical of Dane Laurie at the start. I tell you what, mate, I ate my words on the weekend. Bang. Absolute phenomenal.
Yeah, I think he had 24 or 5 carries of the footy, which is far removed from the Dane Laurie at the Tigers where that was the biggest issue, where he probably wasn't getting involved enough, to the point where Ivan Cleary said after the game, all right, he's created a problem for me. I have to include him in the team next week, and that's what he's done. I think he's got the 14 jersey for this week, despite the rest of the troops being back. So, yeah, it's a tip of the cap to him for just going out there and working his bum off. He looked the most dangerous player on the field, I thought.
100%. Couldn't agree more. But you won't see the Panthers. The Panthers will bounce back from there. All their players will be back, and you'll be all right this week.
Hope so.
They'll be there at the business end.
Well, this is true. Anyway, moving on, mate. The Roosters, this was a pretty ordinary game. Roosters 40 over the Tigers 6. The only good thing from this game, I thought, was the return of David Klemmer, even though he didn't do a hell of a lot, but it was good to see Clem back.
Yeah, we actually, there's 4 of us that are in a punting club together, and one of the boys, he was in Newey, he's just moved to Armidale, but we had a long leg that weekend, and we had Dom Young at first try scorer to round it all out, and he was paying $8. And we were watching that game pretty intently, and we were all on FaceTime together, and Tupou goes over, and oh shit, oh well, it was a good run, boys. And they take it off him at the last minute, and when Dom ended up being the first one to crash over, we were up and about. I couldn't tell you what happened the rest of that game for the most part. We were too excited by that. But Connor Watson's obviously a great story. I know you guys love him. Just so versatile to go from lock to playing a bit of hooker to out in the centres, and they didn't lose much when he moved out there. Particularly Tupanua weirdly looked at home in the centres, and he's a good signing for the Dogs. Next year for 4 years. So if you gun to my head at the moment, if you said who's going to win the competition, I'd go the Roosters as the safer bet, because we're starting to see the best of them.
Good. No, the Dragons are not going to win it, Corey.
Oh, no.
Appy got sin binned.
Sorry?
Appy Coruscant got sin binned.
Yeah, the lifting tackle, was it?
I'm not sure. I didn't really
so.
see it.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, I remember questioning.
Yeah, it was a bit iffy.
Decision.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was heaps in it, particularly for a sin bin. I think it was a lifting tackle.
Yeah.
But look, the Tigers looked a little bit rudderless. Adam Dewey had a crack. But the Roosters forwards, the fitness of... Actually, probably not even fitness, because I'm told Terrell May's a very average trainer, but natural fitness of someone like him that can pump out huge minutes in the middle and not seem to get tired. They've got some absolute freaks at that club in particular at the moment. If they don't win the competition this year, geez, they're going to go close. So I know Penrith are going to fire back end, Brisbane will fire back end.
Melbourne.
But yeah, Roosters are right there.
I put it down to Roosters, and I did have Storm, Penrith, Broncos, but I'm not convinced with the Storm. They're a bit up and down at the moment. I mean, any team with Craig Bellamy, you've got to, give them a bit of hope. But, I don't know. I'd love to say me Knights, but...
Well, I mean, look, if you want hope for Newcastle, it's right there. That was a must-win, I felt, for Newcastle on the weekend. They did it with flying colours, I thought. I know Para coming last, but they didn't play like a team coming last.
Nah.
I was told Ponga would be back next week. I'm thinking a week early. I got the shock of my life when I read his name on the team sheet today. He's just got to pass the fitness test. If he's back, if he's firing, if that team can finish somewhere around 5th to 6th again, they won't bow out the first week of finals again this time. They're too prepped. They're too good a side for that when they're at full strength. I don't know if they can win at Newcastle, but all you have to do is win that first one, find a way to win the next week. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a prelim like Newey did in 2013. Unfortunately, it was the Chooks that did them by about 90 that night. But the return of Ponga and them only being 2 points out of the 8 right now, they're in better position than they were this time last year, I believe.
So you can see them going on a run?
Yeah, I really can. I don't know if they win, however many games are left in the season straight, but with a toughish draw, I can see them. I would expect them to go to Canberra to win, even though it's a tough road trip this Sunday. And all of a sudden from there, you're just about in the 8. Yeah, anyway, if they can finish 5th or 6th again, get a home final first up, I really like them. I do.
Gamble's return in a few weeks as well.
So everything's coming together at the right time.
So, anyway, mate, that's the week that was, buddy. Hopefully some more good football. I've been really enjoying the football of late. There's been some really good games enjoying. So, hopefully we're talking to you again next week with a massive Knights win. And, yeah, enjoy the footy, eh?
Look, and because I love seeing Brisbane fall, Kylie, I will be cheering for your Panthers this Friday as well. I hope they get it done at Suncorp.
Welcome aboard.
Anyway, champion, we appreciate your time once again. We always love hearing from you and what you've got to say and your news that you let us in on. So, mate, we appreciate it, and we'll catch you next week.
Easy done. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, champion.
See ya.
All right, guys, we'll take another short break and be back shortly. All right, guys, welcome back, and it's time for What Caught My Eye.
Ow! My eye! Ow! 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 Ow!
Garry.
What caught my eye at the Warriors-Broncos game, there was a couple. He was in a Broncos jersey. She was in a Warriors jersey. She was rubbing it into him big time that the Warriors won. Poor bloke.
It reminds me of us, but we don't rub it into each other much.
You're not game enough. Oh, hang on. When's the last time the Knights beat Penrith?
Oh, whoa, up.
No, but I'm trying to remember.
The last time that game close was a draw back in COVID days.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
but-
best we could hope for.
The other week we come close. Or even Portia said when the Knights scored, Mum, are you okay?
Yeah, Fletcher Sharp, he scored first. She looked at me. She goes, Mum, are you okay? I went, I'm fine. Why? She goes, because you look like you're about to cry.
I was actually thinking the same thing last week when the Cowboys were playing you guys, and I'm thinking, are you okay?
No, if we had a full strength team, then I'd
This is
probably
it.
be like,
You would have cried.
yeah.
You know, in Origin time, when you're a team like Penrith or Brisbane, you're expecting a loss, really, because your team's on there. But that was a good one, and I seen that, and that it reminded me of me and you. Like, we don't get into each other, but just the rivalry when our teams play, it's fun and good, and hence why we're doing a trip again to Penrith. It's
Can't be as bad as Jason, the Parramatta supporter who sat 2 rows behind us. He had his Parramatta flag, and every time Parramatta would score, he'd dangle it on Dean's head, and I'm like, I can see that getting snapped very soon.
it's all right. I knew we'll turn around, and so when we did it, I was jumping up, and it was good fun. I love that kind.
That was
Okay, moving on.
Mine was, Elliot already touched on it, but Stephen Crichton was seen rushing up the tunnel to console Nico Hines after Nico had a really bad game, and then he was heckled by Bulldogs fans as he walked up the tunnel. Stephen then returned to the field for media duties and to be with his teammates.
yeah, it's pretty good.
And then would have went and seen the fans.
Yeah.
What gets me, all these people are heckling,
Hines.
yeah, like if they're their own club members and they're heckling him. Put on a jersey, go out there. You can't have a 100% game every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they won't. That's the problem.
And that, yeah, good on Stephen.
Oh, he's worth his weight in gold.
Yeah.
To be honest, like he's the buy of the century. What he's done towards the club and bought with the Panthers, the Bulldogs, is phenomenal.
Would have been good to ask Nico later what he said and how it made him feel that he come up and said that to him. You know what I mean?
Anyway, all right.
So I got two. I'll touch on them very quickly.
The segment's what caught my eye.
Well,
not
what
eyes.
caught my
Not
eyes
eyes.
was you actually sticking it up, Jason. That was pretty funny.
Lose your words a bit better, will you?
Well, I'll give it in crap.
Yeah.
And the other one was you actually, and then you tripping over the coach.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost. I must admit, yeah, Adam O'Brien, look, being a bigger man, you know, I pushed my legs out of the seat and went right near the
Stretching
walkway, just stretching them, and Adam O'Brien walked down at the time, and I didn't see he was just about to walk there. I nearly tripped the poor bugger over down the stairs, and I said, "Oh, sorry, mate." He goes, "No, you're all right, buddy. Really nice." But I thought, "Oh, God, imagine that." Sorry, guys. Replacement coach for tonight. Adam O'Brien's falling down the stairs.
Yeah,
Split his head open.
yeah. Smith is taking over the duties as coach for the night.
They probably would have locked me up, but yeah, poor bugger. But
That'll do.
New South Wales first half.
You can't go past
pick
that.
Nah, I don't even think New South Wales probably picked. Well, they might have. But yeah,
Be nice to see that again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You hope.
Anyway, I got 2-2.
It's
So you
what
can.
caught my eye.
I got It's my show.
Oh, well, I'm out of here.
Anyway, Matt Burton was being interviewed after the game against the Sharks, and Addo Carr was behind him on someone's shoulders, just being the Addo Carr goose he is and loving life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never liked him until I met him. It's funny how you can form an opinion on a player because they do that niggle on the field, and then you meet them in real life, and you're like, in real life, you meet them, and it's like,
They're
such a
humans.
nice guy.
Sam Burgess.
Yeah, him
Red
too.
Barney.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Here's another one.
King Niggler.
I didn't like playing football, and I tell you what, I reckon he's a champion guy. Ray Finesta.
Yeah.
We met him in Queensland and said, "Oh, get a photo." Yeah, mate. Yeah, and then I messaged him after it and said, "Thanks, mate, for taking the time. Sorry, with your family." He's like, "No, mate, it was a pleasure meeting you." Like this little paragraph, and I thought, "Wow, what a nice guy."
What about Hopper?
Yes, John
I
Hopper.
mean, he was an animal on the field, but
He still is.
that off the field, seems like a genuine dude.
Okay, Robbie O'Davis had something up the other day about the 1995 Origin, where the All-In Brawl was. Robbie goes, "How come you didn't fight me, Hopper?" Hopper goes, "All I would have done was fingered you, Robbie." And Robbie had a laugh back, and I thought, you know what? That is just absolute gold. Two former, against each other with Newcastle and Manly and New South Wales and Queensland, and the best of mates.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolute gold. I'll tell you what, do yourself a favour. If you're not following Hopper on Instagram, go and follow him. I tell you what, he is an absolute classic of a guy. Some of the stuff you read on there is...
He cops a lot of crap too, and he just his responses.
Oh, mate.
Funny.
And he's not scared, is he, to say what
No.
he thinks?
He's got to be proud too. How many sons now that it's played NRL?
He's... obviously, I didn't have TVs back then, though.
No.
But he posted
And it was cold.
he posted a photo on Facebook the other day, and he has got like $21,000 in tolls that he owes, and he's like, "I'm not paying him." And that was only one that he showed. Apparently, he owes a lot more.
And then there's another one there about, what's his name? Kenty getting punted. And he's having a good old laugh at that.
Yeah.
So, good on him. Anyway, my second one was just after half-time in the Knights Eels game. Someone fell asleep and forgot to put the scores on the tackle count on the big screen, making it hard for people to see. And I think they also put the Newcastle Jets logo
I'm pretty sure I did very, very quickly, and it went very quickly.
Yeah. Interesting.
Someone didn't get enough sleep the night before.
Someone's looking for a new job.
It might be now. Anyway, that's what caught our eye for this week, and we're going to jump right into the figure things too in here. And night of the round this. And I'll start off. So I'm here, and it's Bradman Best. 2 tries, 357 run meters, 10 tackle breaks, and 2 try assists. I'd also like to special mention out to Will Price for his debut. I thought he played exceptional and scored a try. And I also thought Greg Marshall too. So they're my two special
Come back
mentions.
from his early mistake.
You just wanted to get in first because everybody else has probably got Bradman Best too.
My bad. Do your best.
Bradman Best.
As much as I hate to say it, Bradman Best. I think his last name speaks for itself. And it's not on here, but Mitchell Moses backing up after the Origin.
Yeah, I'll give credit where credit's due.
The Don, easy. Bradman.
Will Price. Following his old man's footsteps.
Because he was a good player, his old man,
Yeah.
wasn't
400 odd Super League games and 20, 30 tests for England. And
I didn't know that his father, Leon, played with Beaver Menzies
Yeah.
and Scott Duro.
yeah.
And we were standing there, sorry, at the end of the game, and Beaver come walking past us and that.
he? Hell,
He didn't like that, did he?
no.
I went doing the, hey, and he just walked straight past me. I thought, So I did it again.
I think Beaver played at Bradford, so that's where I think Leon was, or Catalan's, one of them. Yeah.
I used to like watching Beaver play
Oh, yeah, good player.
You like
back in the day.
Yeah, Corey hasn't seen it for a while. Anyway, that's right of the round. Player of the round, Garry.
Jerome Hughes. With key players out for the Storm, I feel he's the glue holding the team together, and they are managing to get the win. He's been playing well.
He has been.
Yeah, even in a losing side, he probably was half, probably there
Gets his
decent.
kicks on point.
Yeah, no, he's a very underrated half, that's for sure. Kylie.
Mine is, as much as I hate to say it, Mitch Moses.
Have you got his paperwork?
Must have.
I think so. To back up from Origin and have a blinder, albeit in a losing side, he was their best on the
He did
field.
play well. He did play well. And I tell you what, you all know I like a lot of Penrith players, but he's got to be there for a game. He deserved it. So, yeah. Corey.
I did my research on this, and Jaden Sewer. I know I might be biased, but he made 208 run metres. You might be biased.
Oh.
208 run metres, 8 tackle breaks, 1 try assist, 3 offloads, and he had to go out in the centres halfway through the game due to an injury. And after Origin as well, I thought he brained it out there.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I've got 2, Jerome Hughes and Jack DeBellin.
Jack the bedsheet.
Yeah.
I thought he played pretty well. One of his better games this year.
Yeah, he did, actually. That's why Bennett wants him.
But Bennett might get the best out of him, but it depends on what price tag if I was to get him. You know what I mean? I'm just, yeah.
He'd be lower end of the forward range, I think, because he's getting not all
Okay.
but 12.
I'm going to throw it out there. Dragons forwards are not really cutting it. Do you see Flano throwing a lifeline to, say, Daniel Saifidi?
I reckon we can get rid of Blake Laurie. We need to spend a time in reserve grade. He's got nothing.
Can you see that happening?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not a bad option.
Anyway, hate to say I'm biased and on this one too. For those that know, I wouldn't say man crush,
Session.
one of many. Okay,
Man crush.
no, I thought he played really well.
Tyson Gamble for just turning up to the game.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Tyson. We had a good chat the other day, and Leo, and it was actually funny because Porsche had Leo written across the forehead before we knew Leo was out, and we were sitting there talking to Tyson and Leo, and Tyson said, "Hey, don't put my name on your forehead, will you?"
That should have been what caught your
I
eye.
forgot. And because I said, we got it before he was ruled out. We heard, and don't put my name on it. But no, I was
That's
going.
true though. Every player you and she likes, they get injured or they leave.
They lose.
So stop it.
See you, Leo.
It was the
Hey, Gamble.
It was Corbin Sims and
Sione.
a few others, and look how Clemmer. Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
Still got Clem's jersey up in there. Anyway, player of the round for me was James Fisher-Harris. 4 tackle breaks, 17 hit-ups, 47 tackles, 178 run metres gained. He also played 66 minutes, but 49 of them were straight. So, and he's just a mountain. I love the aggression from him, but he's like we spoke to him at Newcastle there the other weekend. He's just so quiet. But then you get him on the field, and it's just like a switch that.
Like most footballers.
And you see a lot of it, but like players might have hold of him, and all of a sudden he just bang. I honestly. Sorry, I've rubbed too much salt in, but mate, is he going to be the buy of the year next year for the Warriors?
I was gonna say, you reckon he'll be a big loss for the Panthers?
100%. Yeah.
He'd be just as big as Lil-Wise, if not more.
He's a big loss to me. Like, I love the bloke, to be honest. Like, he's not my team, but there's other teams, players in other teams that I love to watch, and to tell you what, he's one of them. What he brings to the game is phenomenal. There's no para players I like watching, but I like Hulk.
Oh, you like Gutho? Seriously, come on.
Rubbish.
He done more YMCAs on the weekend than I've ever seen.
Oh,
He practices them.
So what he was
Obviously.
whinging about was the fact that the referee ran into him. He was nowhere. He's got to be nowhere near Marju. Half a second.
Yeah. Anyway, time for a bit of humour. Yeah.
Or take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break and get a little dragon. All right, guys, welcome back. And it's time for a bit of humour. Crazy ladies' jokes of the week. Are they going to be as good as the giblets?
No,
Oh.
I can't top that. Kylie died in a fire and was burnt pretty badly. It's a bit morbid.
It was pretty badly.
Supposed to be a joke or what?
So the morgue needed someone to identify the body, and this was sent in by Adam. Her two best friends, Dean and Corey, was sent for. Corey went in and the mortician pulled back the sheet. Corey said, "Yup, she's burnt pretty bad. Roll her over." So the mortician rolled her over. Corey looked and said, "Nope, it ain't Kylie." The mortician thought that was rather strange, and then he brought Dean in to identify the body. Dean took a look at her and said, "Yup, she's burnt real bad. Roll her over." The mortician rolled her over and Dean looked down and said, "No, it ain't Kylie." The mortician asked, "How can you tell?" Dean said, "Well, Kylie had two assholes." "What? She had two assholes?" asked the mortician. "Yep, everyone knew she had two assholes. Every time we went into town, folks would say, 'Here comes Kylie with them two assholes.'"
Why didn't you put Garry on him? That's a bit,
It was a bit unfair.
not for you, it's not.
I didn't leave his out.
Well,
I just want to know how he knew that it wasn't you from your arsehole.
well, I know you think I like arseholes, but
Not women's ones.
no.
I'm going to frame that when I get home.
Anyway. Have you seen her ass?
No. Whose?
My wife's.
Hell no.
It's a joke.
I'm joking.
Why would I want to do that?
It's bad.
Taking a bit
Clean
serious.
up.
Especially when he sees a lot of blokes' ass. Next.
Dean and Kylie were lying in bed one night. Dean was falling asleep, but Kylie was in a romantic mood and wanted to talk. She said, "You used to hold my hand when we were courting." Wearily, Dean reached across, held her hand for a second and rolled over to try to fall asleep. A few moments later, she said, "Then you used to kiss me." Mildly irritated, he leaned across, gave her a peck on the cheek and settled back down to go to sleep. 30 seconds later, she said, "Then you used to bite my neck." Angrily, he threw back the bedclothes, got out of bed. "Where are you going?" she asked. "To the bathroom to get my teeth," he said.
Oh.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's how Portia was born.
How do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
I had my teeth in.
You're a South Sydney supporter?
Is this another stitch up of me?
You saved the best for Garry, haven't you?
I don't think there's any names in this one.
Oh, what a shame. They're good ones, actually, when you include.
Except you were hung up on the whole, he saw my butthole.
Yeah, no,
But I'm disappointed I'm an arsehole now.
I was just wondering. No, I was saying because.
I'm in trouble
how-
later.
No.
You're handy for
Hell
something.
no. I was just wondering how he could identify you.
Fair call.
Ah.
You didn't have two assholes.
Looking in the mirror.
On Monday morning, the teacher walked to the blackboard and noticed someone had written the word penis in tiny letters. She turned around but couldn't find the guilty face, so quickly erased it and began her class. Tuesday, she was again greeted with penis on the blackboard, written in larger letters. She looked around in vain for the culprit and then proceeded with the day's lesson. Every morning for the rest of the week, penis was written on the board larger and larger, and each time the teacher furiously erased it. By Friday, she'd had enough. "That's enough," she spluttered. I can't believe this. Monday morning, I expect an explanation for this behaviour." On Monday morning, the teacher confidently entered the classroom and found on the board, "Don't you know, the more you rub it, the bigger it gets?"
Oh. That's a good one. I like that. But
Yep.
the giblets still.
Giblets, this is in the top 5.
It is good.
The giblets were the brought tears to your eyes.
Yeah.
Well, some of us.
The curtain rod.
Yeah, I was going to say a curtain rod did. Have you got another one, have you?
No.
All right. Well, who the Panthers got? Broncos Friday night, is it?
Yeah, of course, it's a Friday night game.
Yeah.
What's
Bronco.
that?
Suncorp.
Oh, of course.
Broncos don't play in day games.
No.
Are they like
They're
vampires?
vampires.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks again for everything tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Of course we will. All right, guys, we'll take another short break and be back shortly.